Hi everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today we're going to look at your first 6 ukulele chords in the key of D major. We'll learn the D major, the E minor, the F sharp minor, the G major, the A major, and the B minor. So we'll learn the Roman numerals for each chord, and I'll show you the notes those chords are built from and let you actually see why they look the way they do. So let's get started and I'll show you how it works. Today we're looking at a Fretboard Toolbox Essential Ukulele C Tuning 2nd edition book. And this book has the 5 most common keys that folks play in. And today we're going to look at the key of D major. And so what I want you to know from here is these chords from D major to B minor. These are the 6 chords we're going to learn today. C major's in italics, it's outside the key, so we're going to ignore that. I want you to know this first set of Roman numerals. Those are the D major key Roman numerals. So D major is your 1 chord, E minor is the 2, etc. So the first 3 chords we're going to learn in any key is going to be called our 1, 4, and 5 chords. So we're going to learn D major, G major, and A major. And D majors, no matter what the instrument, are going to be made of the notes D, F sharp, and A, because all major chords are made out of the 1st, 3rd, and 5th note of the scale. So the 1st is D, the 3rd is F sharp, and the 5th is A for D major. And then if we look at a fretboard, here's the nut here, and then this is the nut on the ukulele. I want to play only the notes D, F sharp, and A to play a D major. So I could play the 2nd fret of the 4th string, 2nd, 2nd, and open. That looks like this. Well, that's how I hold it. I have a really weird way of holding it. Most people you would see either use 1 finger to play those 3 notes, or people will play these 3 fingers, or some people play these 3 fingers. I just do a kind of hybrid thing, and I've used my pointer finger for these 2 because it lets me get this D7 really easy. So, but that's D major. Some people, you even see them play it with their thumbs. If you can hold these 3 notes down and let this one stay open, you're playing a D major. But then any other of these green circles are also D major. So if I took a regular D major and I added the 5th fret, that's also D. So you can there's all sorts of ways to play it, but we're starting out, most of our basic chords are going to play down in this region. So that's your D major. The 4 chord is G major. That's G, B, and D notes. So if we click on that, we can see I could leave the 4th string open because that's already a G. And then I could go 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd. That looks like this. So that's G, D, G, B. G, D, G, B. Okay? But if you ever see somebody add a pinky up here or play a G major like this, they're just adding this B note up here. And so you can still play the G major shape here, but you can throw this B on because G majors are made of the notes G, B, and D. And then there's all these shapes going up, and if you notice this shape looks just like the D, that's kind of important later on. So, and when you're learning chords up the neck. So that's your G major. The 5 chord is going to be an A major, A, C sharp, and E. So we can click on that and scroll down to A major. So A, C sharp, and E. So I could go 2nd, 1st, open, open. So that's A, C sharp, E, A. But if I threw this pinky on, that's still A major because I'm playing A's, C sharps, and E's. And then if you look at this shape right here, this looks a lot like the G. And this is the G with that other little note added on, the G shape. And this is like the D shape. So I want you to start seeing those connections because that's where the chords really start making sense. So that's the 1, 4, 5. So that was D major, G major, A major, back to D. And here's a bunch of chord progressions. You could play D, A, D and work through that. D, G, A, D, A, G. And I'll show you later on how to access jam tracks where you can practice these chord progressions with the jam tracks. Now let's learn the minor chords. We're going to learn the 2 chord, the 3 chord, and the 6. So the 2 chord is E minor, and it's made of the notes E, G, and B. So minors are made out of 1, flat 3, or minor 3, and 5 notes. So almost like major chords, except the only difference is instead of the third, you play a flat third. So E minor is E, G, B, but E major would be E, G sharp, B. So the only difference is this, either third for majors or flat third for minors. So E, G, B, I can play this, like the most common way that I play it is a little harder, but an easier one would be leaving this G open, and then I could play E, G, B. Okay, and that looks like this. And listen to how minor chords have sadder sounds. Okay, and another cool thing to look at is if I play G major, but I add this pinky on, I turned it into an E minor. Remember, G major was G, D, G, B, but if I just add this E, it turns it into a minor. Just such a cool thing that one little note makes all the difference. So another way to play E minor would be like this. So that's B, B, E, G, B. Or I could play it as a bar chord like this. Okay, so a lot of different ways to play it, but E minor's always made of E, G, and B, no matter what instrument. F sharp minor is F sharp, A, C sharp. And if we look at F sharp minor, this one looks a lot like the A major, if you remember, A, C sharp, and E. But now we got an F sharp here. So I can play this like, I can play F sharp minor this way. That's A, C, F sharp, A. And look at this A major. Now F sharp minor. Only one note different there. The E turns into an F sharp. So that's F sharp minor, but then also look up here. This is that same shape we played for the E minor, but just moved up 2 frets, so moved up a whole step. So this is F sharp minor also. And then this is F sharp minor. Anywhere you can play F sharp A's and C sharp notes, you're playing F sharp minor. And lastly, B minor, B, D, F sharp. So if we look at that, this one is a little bit harder because I've got to use one finger to hold these 3 notes down, and then I've got to get the B up here. So I'm going to play B, D, F sharp, B. So here's one way to play it. Here's another way, playing it as a bar chord. Okay, but I've also got B minor up here, which kind of look like the F sharp minor shape. And then I've got B minor up here, which look like the E minor shape. And so when you start seeing those connections, I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing, because you just start saying, oh, there's not 1,000 different ways to fret these chords. And we're just playing basic major and minor chords. There's with all the notes you can add on, there's millions of ways to play them. But for just the basic major minor, they're called triads, the 3-note chords. There's only so many shapes going up the neck where you can reach them. So anyways, to show you the jam tracks to play through any of these chord progressions, you can go to the Fretboard Toolbox website and go to Tracks and Tab and click on 200 free jam tracks. And then today we were looking at the key of D major, so you can click on that, and then you can play through just all D major. This is D, A, D, 151. This is D, G, A, a 145. It'll tell you the chord notes, and it'll tell you scales, and and what to listen for. So anyways, learning those chord shapes and learning why they're the way that they are has made a huge difference for me. Instead of someone just saying, you know, well, here's how you play D, just hold these down. I have a lot more freedom when I understand where those notes are coming from and where those shapes are being built. And then when you play, you're not thinking every time like, okay, this was A, D, F sharp. You're just building the shapes and then playing those shapes that you remember with your muscle memory. So, anyways, I hope you found something useful today, and I've got books you can check out for all sorts of different instruments, and they're all set up just alike. So, if you want to see the ukulele book, you can be sure to click Essential versus Complete Toolboxes. It's my most common question I get asked. Here you can see all my ukulele videos, and if you want to download free pages, click Look Inside, and you can download all the instructions in the key of G major pages for free for the Essential and the Complete editions. And the best part about Toolboxes is once you understand how one of them works, you understand how all of them work, and you can start building chords on any instrument, because D, F sharp, and A is always your D major chord, no matter what the instrument is. You just need to see where are those Ds, F sharps, and A's to be found. So I hope you found something useful, and I will be back on more Fretboard Fridays with more videos on more of my favorite instruments.